Hello, my name is Erica and welcome to another edition of Write With Me. We're going to do a musical exercise today. You can see I've got my Beast, the double bass. You can use whatever instrument you would like. So sitting down at the piano is probably the easiest, especially if you're either a piano player or a singer. Even if you play guitar, you could use one of those little keyboard apps on a tablet or a phone if you don't mind pressing the tiny buttons on a phone screen. So grab your instrument and a piece of pen and paper if you want to write anything down. So I'm going to do my best to juggle my phone and my notebook while holding the double bass. And I'm going to use just the Google random number generator, and I've set the minimum to 1 and the maximum to 7. So I'm going to generate 6 numbers. So by setting the minimum to 1 and the max to 7, it means that you're working within just one key, which makes the exercise a little bit easier. If you set it to 1 and 12, you are working within the chromatic scale. So the melodies and notes you come up with are often a bit more tricky to work with. So simple for today, and then you can take this exercise and redo it again, the more complicated version if you would like. So here we go. Can I do this without dropping everything? I think so. First number is 6. 1, 2, 4, 2 more, 2, and 1. Okay. So the next thing to do is to turn these numbers into notes. So I'm going to say that C is 1, D is 2, etc. So we have 6, which is A, 1 is C, 2 is D, 4 is F, 2 is D, and 1 is C. So there we have our notes, A, C, D, F, D, C. So I'm going to set you a restriction today, and that restriction is to use the notes in that order, so not to rearrange them. You don't have to use all of them. You could just use the first, 3 or 4 if you wanted to. So there's a few things you could do with these notes without rearranging them. You could turn them into chords. So for example, A would become A minor, C, C major, D, D minor, and you could make up a chord progression and improvise a little bit over the chord progression. Or you could take the notes and you could turn them into a melody or some kind of a bass line, which is what I may try to do on the bass today, but we'll see. I haven't been playing bass for very long, so you're going to have to suffer with my dodgy intonation on the instrument when I go and play for you. So here are your notes, A, C, D, F, D, C, and you're not allowed to rearrange them, which might seem hard, but it actually often makes things easier to have a restriction because it frees up. Somehow it frees your brain to be more creative the more restrictions you give yourself. So less choices to deal with, really. So A, C, D, F, D, C. We're going to go for 3 minutes. So how did you go? I came up with just a little simple bass line using these notes, so I'll play it for you. And I did kind of cheat and double the C at the end. So 2 octaves of C. And then talking and playing bass is just as hard as singing and playing bass at the same time. So you can take this idea. What I was doing in that 3 minutes was just kind of improvising with my voice a little bit over the top of this bass line, but I'm not going to torture you with that right now because, as I said, singing and playing bass is quite difficult. But that's just one little idea of what you can do with a set of notes generated by numbers. So kind of like my little bass line, I'm going to keep working on it. And I hope you had fun, and I will see you for another exercise tomorrow.